Breaking news out of San Diego this morning, a Cessna Citation 550 jet has gone down while attempting an instrument approach into Montgomery Field's runway 28 right in very foggy conditions. Numerous cars were burned along the road as the aircraft went in. There are no reports of major injuries from anybody on the ground, despite the fact that 15 houses suffered major damage. At this time, there are no reports of any survivors on board the aircraft. We do not know the number of people that were on board the aircraft at this time. My name is Juan Brown. You're watching the BLANCOLIRIO channel. We have some very important preliminary data to share with you. Let's check it out. This video is brought to you by viewers like you that support this channel here on Patreon. Thank you for your support. Starting with the flight history, the aircraft involved in this accident is a 1985 Cessna Citation 550 jet, November 666 Delta Sierra. Having just completed a very long, all-nighter transcontinental flight, the aircraft departed Wednesday evening at 11:15 local time from Teterboro, New Jersey, stopped halfway across the country, and then resumed the flight, coming into Montgomery Gibbs Field at 3:47 in the morning. If we take a quick look at the ADS-B data, we can see the straight-in instrument approach attempted by the pilot. It does appear to me that the aircraft was on autopilot, but if we take this data and download it, the KML data here into Google Earth, and take a closer look at the final moments of this flight, it appears to me that this pilot descended below minimums in the very foggy conditions and struck these power lines located right here on this ridge top, briefly popping up and then crashing into the homes, the military housing located right here. So investigators are looking right now to see the condition of these power lines that the aircraft possibly struck. This is the instrument approach procedure that the pilot was cleared for. We'll listen to the ATC audio in just a moment. The pilot was cleared direct to Nesty at or above 3,600 feet and cleared for the RNAV GPS runway 28 right at Montgomery Field. Now here's a rough look at the initial ADS-B data overlaid the instrument approach plate. The pilot was cleared to Nesty at or above 3,600 feet. Nesty is located right about here on the instrument approach plate and right about here on the ADS-B data. We've scaled this up to match the instrument approach plate. And on the vertical profile, Nesty shown right here at or above 3,600 feet. So the preliminary ADS-B data from ADS-B Exchange shows that the pilot hits Nesty at the correct altitude. The next stop is Penny, located right here. And on the vertical profile, Penny is the final approach fix at or above 2,500 feet. And the pilot hits Penny at right about 2,500 feet. But he's hot. He's 179 knots. The next stop is Paulos, located right about here. And on the vertical profile, you are to cross Paulos at or above 1,380 feet, LNAV only. And he crosses Paulos closer to 1,200 feet. So he begins to get below the vertical guidance inside of the final approach fix. Taking a closer look here at Paulos, where he crosses Paulos at 1,200 feet and continues to descend all the way down to 500 feet. Again, this is preliminary ADS-B data, well below minimums for the approach. And here again on the RNAV GPS approach for runway 28 right, we can see the lowest minimums, if you have the LPV capability, is 673 feet. LNAV VNAV 750 feet. And LNAV MDA, if you do not have vertical guidance, of 840 feet. But the real kicker is these categories. This approach is only authorized for Category A and B instrument aircraft. Category C and D is not authorized. And generally, the Citation 550 is considered a Category C instrument airplane based on its final approach speeds and maneuverability. In other words, this pilot was flying an approach that he was not authorized to fly based on his instrument category, based on his final approach speeds for this aircraft. Here's what I'm talking about, those different instrument categories under FAR 97.3. Category C, a final approach speed or VREF speed between 121 knots and 141 knots. Category C, that's generally considered the category for the Citation 550. Now let's listen to a condensed version of the ATC audio as we look at the ADS-B data. ATC audio provided by Live ATC.
SoCal Citation 666 Delta Sierra with you, descending through 17,000 for 12,000.
Citation 666 Delta Sierra SoCal approach. The Montgomery ASOS is out of service. Which approach would you like?
Yeah, 6 Delta Sierra, yeah, we noticed that. We'll take the RNAV 28, please.
6 Delta Sierra, clear direct Nesty, descend pilot discretion, maintain 9,000.
Okay, 6 Delta Sierra, direct Nesty, descending for 9,000. And 6 Delta Sierra, just wanted to know if you really had any idea on the weather. I got the Gillespie weather, but as I'm sure you know, sometimes it can be dramatically different between Gillespie and Montgomery.
6 Delta Sierra, let me see what I can find out for you.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, according to Gillespie, it's pretty much down to minimum, so I just want to see what I'm in for here.
Taking a look at the Zoom Earth satellite view at the time of the accident, a very thick marine layer had rolled onto the coast there in the San Diego area, up and down the entire coastal part of San Diego.
Yeah, according to Gillespie, it's pretty much down to minimum, so I just want to see what I'm in for here.
Okay, no problem.
Appreciate it.
And number 6 Delta Sierra, I've got the Miramar automated weather for 0955 Zulu with wind calm, visibility 1/2, and indefinite ceiling 200.
6 Delta Sierra, all right. That doesn't sound great, but we'll give it a go.
6 Delta Sierra, Roger, descend and maintain 5,500.
All right, descending for 5,500, 6 Delta Sierra.
5,500 right here. Weather at Miramar reported 1/2 mile visibility. The weather minimums required for this approach at Montgomery is 3/4 of a mile visibility.
6 Delta Sierra, just in case we have to go miss. How's Brown looking? Is that pretty similar?
Let me take a look.
Thanks.
That's way down
6
south.
Delta Sierra, affirmative, a little bit better, but not much. Just showing, standby.
Okay.
Okay, they're showing 1031 Zulu weather, wind calm, visibility 2 1/2, mist, ceiling 300 broken, Kirkland 300 overcast.
Okay, 6 Delta Sierra, a little better, but higher minimum, so probably not a great option either. So I'll come back to you with an alternate just in case.
6 Delta Sierra, Roger. And 6 Delta Sierra, you can make descent okay for there, or you want me to turn you out to the south a little bit? And 6 Delta Sierra, SoCal, you can make descent okay from there, or you want me to turn you out to the south?
6 Delta Sierra, no, I think we'll be all right.
6 Delta Sierra, Roger, 5 miles from Nesty, cross out or above 3,800, cleared on Av runway 2, right approach.
All right, at or above 3,800 for cleared RNAV 28, right approach, Montgomery.
And November 6 Delta Sierra, report traffic cancellation after landing via the phone. Do you have the number?
6 Delta Sierra, yeah, I've got the number.
Delta Sierra, Roger that, and frequency change approved.
6 Delta Sierra, thanks. We'll hopefully not see you, but we might have to. Montgomery traffic citation 666 Delta Sierra, 3 miles final 28.
Keying up the lights. Desperately trying to find the runway. Located right here. Other contributing factors that investigators will be looking at is the fact that Montgomery Tower is closed during this time of the morning, so there's no backup assistance out there from the tower helping with the possibility of a low altitude alert if they happen to notice it on this instrument approach procedure. Also, too, apparently the automatic weather reporting station was out of service, so the pilot had no idea what the actual weather was at the airport that he was landing at, and the surrounding airports were all reporting weather minimums down to 1/2 mile visibility. And the minimums for this approach are 3/4 of a mile visibility. So stacking the odds against you, a long transcontinental fatiguing flight, followed by an instrument approach into the murky conditions of the marine layer early in the morning into San Diego, with a tower that's closed, an AWOS that's broken, you don't know the weather into the approach that you're going into. Just too many odds stacked against you. As we get more information, I'll keep you posted here. Looks like the NTSB is already starting a preliminary briefing on this crash. See the link below. Thank you so much for your support, especially the folks over on Patreon that make this content possible. See you here.